Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a Hobby Lobby haul. I stopped in there just to see if they had any Christmas stuff left and on sale. They do. All of their Christmas stuff right now is 90% off. So is all of the fall items. However, our store was extremely picked over. Pretty much everything that they had left on the Christmas aisle was broken or busted. It was like little ornaments, but they had been like cracked or chipped and stuff. So I did not get in on any of the Christmas items. However, I did find a couple of fall items tucked away in a back corner. So this is corn husk. A 1.41 ounce bag is just for like decorating like your little floral pieces. This was only 59 cents, was originally $5.99. So I picked that up just to use for this coming year and some different little projects and things. And then they had their fake leaves. This is a 35 piece for 79 cents, was originally $7.99. And they have all different colors in there. They've got like some browns. They have some real pretty greens and reds. And then of course your traditional oranges. So I went ahead and grabbed those just because they were super cheap. Now is the time, if you have the extra money and you see things that are really cheap, like on that 90% off or 75% off, if you have the money to go ahead and scoop them up and get them for this coming year. I'm going to try to do better this year about doing that. I see things all the time and I'm like, oh, that would be nice for later. And then I skip it. And then when the time comes, I end up having to pay full price for those things. So I'm trying to do better about if I see it really cheap like that, 59 cents, just pick it up because I have the 59 cents. All right, next. Most of the stuff I got is on clearance. They had a lot of clearance all throughout the store. The majority of mine came from the sewing section, of course, because we went back to look at fabric. Their Christmas fabrics were 90% off also. My store only had one bolt of fabric left in the entire store, and it was a Christmas Pokemon fabric, and no one in my family is really into Pokemon, so I didn't get that. But I did get a ton of trims. I had a haul, I think maybe 2 years ago now, where I got in on a bunch of trim that was super cheap. After that haul, every time I went, the trim was like regular price, or if it was discounted, it was only discounted like 50 cents off. This time they had it back on that really deep discount. So the first thing that I got, don't know how well you can see through there. They've got it really taped. But it is a gold chain and it is heavy. Heavy, heavy. This thing's probably like 6 or 7 pounds in my hand right now. 8 yards left on here. This was originally $6.99 per yard. I got the entire 8 yards for only $5.59. My daughter is going to use that for making handbags and some other stuff. This one here was my favorite. I picked it up a couple times and sat it back down because I couldn't decide if I was going to spend the money on it. But I went ahead and got it. This has 7 yards of this really pretty beaded trim. And it has like little spacer beads in between and then your pearls. This was originally $8.99 per yard. I got the entire 7 yards for only $6.13. Then they have this 16.5 yards on here. Or no, 16 yards. 16 yards. Sorry, I was reading the Y as a half sign. 16 yards was $2.99 per yard. I got 16 for only $3.26 of this really pretty silver. It's got like a sheen to it. You can't really see through the plastic, but it's like a sparkly silver trim. And it comes on that like a broadcloth kind of tape. This is for like upholstery and curtains and maybe bed linen trim. So really good deal on that. Then they had this my daughter actually picked up for some of her dressmaking. This was originally $3.99 per yard. She got 4 yards for only $1.58. And this is a, do you care if I open the plastic on it? Okay.
I would have opened it anyways.
The plastic on them is got a glare on it. Here we go. It is this black ruffled satin trim. The next one that I found, this has 14 yards on it. It was originally $2.99 per yard. I got all 14 for only $4.24. This is a peachy kind of pink color of velvet piping trim, like velvet cording. You can see how it's made there. There is your cording on the top. The lights in here are kind of washing out the color, but it is like a nice, pretty pink peachish color. So 14 yards of that. Then they have 13 yards on this one. And I'm trying to find the price. Was $1.99 per yard originally, and I got all 13 yards for $3.94. And this is a really pretty burgundy tassel trim for making like those really cute little like ottomans, like a cover for your ottoman that has a little fringe at the bottom, or the bottoms of your curtains. You could put it on like a bed skirt. This is good for a lot of different projects, so that was a really good steal right there. And the last one I got, this one has, looks like it says 23 yards. So this one is the most that came on one for $4.70. It was originally $1.99 per yard. And it is a burgundy, like twisted cord, the same as that silver was, only this is a nice dark burgundy, and it has a bit of a sheen to it too, like a satiny shine, even though it is a dark burgundy color. So $4.70 on that. I can make a ton of projects with all of these. The last things they had, if you're someone who makes linens and especially drapery, they had all kinds of curtain making trims as well as backing materials. They had a curtain header that was on sale, and it had 50 yards of that curtain header on it for $5 and something. I didn't need that, but I did pick these up whenever I saw them. This is Roman shade tape. So if you don't know how a Roman shade works, you get a panel of fabric. On the back, you have these rows that you run across, and you'll have these little plastic loops. If you make them by hand, you have to sew each of those loops on by hand, and you run cords up through all those loops, and then you tie them all together on one side. When you pull that, it draws up the Roman shade so that it ruffles on top of itself as it comes up. This is a pre-made tape. Pop the plastic on this here so you can see. This has those plastic loops pre-sewn on. So all you do is cut a strip of this tape, this Roman shade tape, the width of your curtain. You sew it or tack it on however you're going to make it. If your curtain has a backing, I would sew this to the backing and then put your front onto the back. But however you want to sew it on there, pre-made tape, and then all you have to do at the end is run your cording through it so that you can draw up that Roman shade. This had 32 yards left on it. And I got that 32 yards for $4.76. Not just the amount that I got, but the amount of time that that's going to save making Roman shades was well worth that money. And then the last thing that I found, I didn't get the wrap done very well on this one, was this Austrian shade tape. So where the Roman shade tape is nice and flat and smooth, the Austrian shade tape here has your loops sewn onto it as well. And then it also has some cording run through it. And this has 38 yards left on it, it says. And I paid $4.62 for 38 yards of the Austrian shade tape that was pre-made. So that was all that I found in the trims section. Next thing that I got in the sewing section, all of their fabric by the yard, everything, it doesn't matter if it's seasonal or just regular, all fabric by the yard is 40% off right now at Hobby Lobby. So we found some super cute Valentine's fabric. It's got these little puppies on it. It has like a pink gingham in the background. Super duper cute. This was, I believe, $7.99 and then 40% off. So it came to, I think, $4.79 a yard is what this ended up being. So we got a few yards for my daughter to make a little Valentine's dress. The next one that we found was this really pretty strawberry material, and this doesn't really have to be seasonal. I mean, it could be used for Valentine's, but it will be good all summer and all spring too. This one was $6.99, I think, before the discount. With the 40% off, it came to $4.19 per yard, I think. So she got a couple yards of that to make a dress out of it as well. They also were starting to get out some of their Easter fabrics, and they were really, really cute. They had a few with little bunnies on it. We just didn't get any Easter things today, but we'll definitely be going back between now and then. And then keeping with the Valentine's theme, anything that was in their Valentine's section and anything that was labeled as the spring shop was 40% off. They had this really cute garden flag. I don't have one for Valentine's Day, so I picked it up. It's got the little gnomes on it sitting in the back of the truck, and it just says Happy Valentine's Day on it. It was originally $5.99. I paid $3 and something for it, is what it came to with that 40% off. So $3 for a garden flag is a really cheap price, and it's really cute. And the ones that are at Hobby Lobby, and look, I've picked some up at Dollar Tree before. They're made out of like a plasticky material that doesn't really flow. These are actually made out of a regular fabric. So they blow in the wind like they're supposed to. They're not real stiff, trying to get them put onto your little garden flag pole that you have. And they have been really durable. Mine are out all summer and all winter, and I've never had any of them rip or tear or fray or anything. So they're a good quality for a really good price. And I believe this is the very last thing that I got at Hobby Lobby. They had a separate aisle of home decor that was 75% off. They had all kinds of like wall art down there, but they had it shoved into shopping carts instead of up onto like shelves. So it was really hard to dig through and find without breaking stuff. So I left the wall art alone, but they did have some dishes and other things on shelves, and I ended up finding this little plant mister for only $3.99. It was originally $16. You can see there on the bottom. But you put your water down in here. This is really, I think, mostly for like succulents, plants that aren't supposed to get soaked with water. But you put your water in there, and then you just push down on that, and it mists it out onto the leaves instead of pouring, a regular watering can and drowning your stuff. But I thought that was really cute. I have a ton of succulents in my house, so that is definitely going to get a lot of use. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so that the algorithm picks it up and other people can watch it. If you enjoy our content, also consider subscribing if you haven't already, and we will see you guys in our next one.